Have you ever been on a fitness journey, been trying to improve your health, and you feel like you're doing everything right? You're in a caloric deficit, you're sleeping well, you're eating properly, you're eating cleanly, and you've been using the scale as your form of measurement, and it's just not moving no matter what you do. And it's frustrating, right? Yeah, I get it. I've been there. But have you ever taken your measurements? Or say you only take measurements and you don't use the scale. So that's how you measure your progress, right? So which one's better, the scale or taking your measurements? That's what we're going to be talking about today's video. Check it out. What's going on, beautiful people, and welcome back to Hustling and Healing. Woo! For those of you just joining me, what's up? Welcome to Hustling and Healing. My name is Bree, and I am the creator of this channel. For those of you who saw one of my dog's butts in the previous video, that's Pandora. She says hi, and she says, Happy Wednesday! Woo! It's Wednesday, which means it's Wellness Wednesday. If you couldn't tell from the previous clip, we're going to be talking about body weight scales versus measurements. Which one's better? So, in order for this to be as short and informational as possible, we're going to jump right into it with scales. So what do scales do? Scales measure your entire weight of your body. So that includes your muscle mass, your fat percentage. It includes how much water you have in your body at the time in which you weighed it, your bones, your skin, all that. It includes all of it. So, in order to make sense of the scale, what that number really is it assigns that number to how much all of that weighs, and that's your gravitational force on the earth. So that's all that number is. There are some scales that will tell you percentages, like it will do a percentage scan on your body, so it'll tell you approximately how much fat percentage you have in your body, how much water percentage, how much muscle mass, and things like that. I personally have one. It's a Renfo scale. It's pretty dope, and it was pretty inexpensive. But there is debate on how accurate that is. So moving into measurements. What do measurements do? So measurements is a pretty inexpensive way to figure out the circumference or length of whatever body part that you are measuring. So a lot of people use measurements instead of scales because they feel like sometimes the scale isn't moving, or that fat, they're dropping weight from fat but gaining weight from muscle, and it kind of balances out. So the scale doesn't exactly tell you that. But with the body or the circumference of your body parts changing, measurements might. So measurements tend to be a little more accurate in how your body is changing, and which one, and that the scale might not necessarily reflect words. So a lot of people use measurements as a way to keep themselves up to date on how their body is transforming, even if that number on that scale doesn't show you. And that number of their measurements does assign a number to it, but it just assigns the circumference, or the number of the circumference or the length of that body part. So the important thing to remember about measurements is that you should measure at the same time of day each time that you're taking measurements, and you should also measure the same place so that it's as accurate as possible. And measurements are great for people who don't want to get on the scale for one reason or the other. There's no judgment there, so if you're not someone who enjoys looking at that number on the scale, take your measurements. So, which one's better? That depends on what your goals are. I know you guys are sick and tired of me saying that depends, but it's the truth. So if you're someone that's looking to achieve a certain number, a certain body weight, the scale's for you, because that's going to tell you that. If you're someone that also needs to know what your body weight is, your number, so say you need to fit a certain weight for a weight class or for the military or something like that, use a scale. If you're someone that doesn't need to see that number, but you want to check in on how your body's transforming, like are you losing fat? Are your arms getting smaller? Your calves getting larger? Use a measuring tape. Or if you're someone that wants a little more accurate results of a specific body part, measuring tape. I'm not saying that you can't use both at the same time, because you definitely can. I do. So you don't always have to compare them going against each other. But it is important to know the pros of each side. So that's it for this video. I'm sure you can hear my grumpy dogs barking in the back. I'm sorry about that. But if you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell down there to get notifications for my next video. Woo! If you're interested in following me on other forms of social media, I am on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and of course YouTube, and I'm sure you're watching this video on. And finally, I do post 3 times a week. Yes, 3. That is Monday, that's hustling. Wednesday, today, that's wellness. And Sundays, which is healing, and that's self-love. So check me out on any of those days. Check out any of those videos. And I hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday wherever you are. I'll see you on Sunday. Bye.